नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीर्वुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So 2 weeks back we completed the fourth canto, 10th chapter, Dhruva Maharaj's fight with the Yakshas. Uh, In that we discussed that how when Dhruva Maharaj was fighting with the Yakshas used the mystic powers. When they used the mystic siddhis, Dhruva Maharaj, he could not see any of the Yakshas, but he saw that suddenly from some place stool was pouring, pus was pouring, suddenly some rains were coming. So at that time, Dhruva Maharaj was like wondering what happened. So, so at that time, the Brahmanas came and then they reminded Dhruva Maharaj to use the Narayanastra. So I'll, I think, recite that particular shloka and then we'll enter the 11th chapter. So that shloka is a very beautiful shloka. The last verse of the 10th chapter. So all the sages said that औत्तानपादभगवांस्तव शार्ङ्गधन्वा देवक्षिणोत्ववनताति देवक्षिणोत्ववनतार्तिहरो विपक्षान् यन्नामधेयमधि अभिधाय निशम्य चाद्दा लोकोञ्जसा तरति दुस्तरमङ्गमृत्युम्. So at that time, the sages told that, O King, O son of Uttanapath, may the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Sharangadhanva, who relieves the distresses of his devotees, kill all your threatening enemies. The holy name of the Lord is as powerful as the Lord himself. Therefore, simply by chanting and hearing the holy name, many men can be fully protected from fierce death without difficulty. Thus, a devotee is saved. So they reminded Dhruva Maharaj about the holy names of the Lord. The Yakshas, they had used mystic siddhis. The power of the mystic siddhis used by the Yakshas, they are compared to the Maya Shakti. The sages are reminding Dhruva Maharaj to take shelter of the holy name of the Supreme Lord and surrender to the Lord. Or they are reminding Dhruva Maharaj to use the Narayanastra. So we discussed about the holy name. Now we'll go to the 11th chapter. So somebody can repeat after me. Maitreya Uvacha
Maitreya Uvacha
Nishamya Gadatamevam
Nishamya Gatamevam
Rishinam Dhanushidhruvah
Rishinam Dhanushi
Tandadestramupasprishya
Tandadesprishya
Yannarayana Nirmitam.
Yannarayana Nirmitam.
Can read the translation.
Sri Mai.
Oh, did it? 1 minute. You can read the translation.
Sri Maitreya said, "My dear Vidura, when Dhruva Maharaja heard the encouraging words of the great sages, he performed the Akamana by touching water and then took up his arrow made by Lord Narayana and fixed it upon his bow."
So we see Dhruva, the sages reminded Dhruva Maharaj to use the Narayanastra. Let us see the shloka more closely. Nishamya. Nishamya means on hearing. After hearing the Rishinam Gadatam, the words spoken by the sages. Hearing the words spoken by the sages, Dhruva Sandade Astram Upasprushya. Upasprushya means after performing Achamana. Before actually before releasing the weapon, one has to chant the mantra. Before chanting the mantra, one has to perform the Achamana. So, Upasprushya refers to after performing Achamana, Dhanushi Sandade. He strung an arrow. Which arrow? Yan Narayana Nirmitam. Yat Narayana Nirmitam Dhruvaha Dhanushi Sandade. He strung an arrow made by Narayana on his bow. So in the 11th chapter, the summary of the 11th chapter is that you will see that the main part of 11th chapter is Svayambhuva Manu's instructions to Dhruva. On the instructions of Svayambhuva Manu, Dhruva Maharaj will stop the fight. So here, we go through Prabhupada's purport. So Dhruva Maharaj, he had a weapon which was directly given by Lord Narayana. So now he is using that Narayana weapon. Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamevaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Krishna's Maya potency is very difficult to overcome, but when a person surrenders to Krishna, one can very easily overcome it. So without Narayana, no one is able to overcome the action of the illusory energy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that in this Kali Yuga, the weapon to overcome the illusory energy is the holy name of the Lord. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yajnai Sankirtana Prayir Ejantihi Sumedasah. Just like Dhruva Maharaj was given the Narayana weapon by the Lord, in the Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was given the chanting of the holy names. And when we chant the holy names, one can drive away the influence of Maya. So, those people who possess fine intelligence, Yajnai Sankirtana Prayat Ejantihi Sumedasaha. Sumedasaha means those people who have got fine intelligence, they worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates by chanting the holy names of the Lord. So the chanting the holy names, it appears to be a performing Sankirtan, dancing and chanting. It appears to be the activity of a sentimentalist. But according to the Shastra, those who worship the Lord by performing Sankirtan, they are possessing the finest intelligence. Sumedasaha. Sumedasaha. Next shloka. So before that. So we see the Yakshas initially attacked the Dhruva Maharaj in a gross way. But later the Yaksha attacked Dhruva Maharaj in a subtle way, in an invisible way. So similarly, the Maya may attack a living entity initially in the gross way, but later it may attack the Jivatma through very subtle ways. So the weapon to counter attack the attack of Maya is the chanting of the holy names. So the devotees, they remained, other sages, other devotees actually remind us about chanting of the holy name. Ultimately, we have to lift the weapon to fight against Maya. So in the Bhagavad Gita, in the shloka Daivi Hesha Gunamayi, which is quoted by Prabhupada, in this shloka, two things are mentioned. One has to understand that the power of Maya is very powerful. At the same shloka also mentions the power of Krishna. Mamevaye prapadyanti mayametam tarantite. The first half of the shloka talks about the power of Maya. Second half of the shloka talks about the power of Krishna. So because the Maya is the energy of Krishna, therefore it is very powerful. And this Maya is composed of the three gunas, Gunamayi. And it is Duratyaya, it is very difficult to overcome. So Krishna himself is saying, suppose a person who has crossed the English Channel, if he says that to swim in this body of water is very difficult, then we will take the words of that person very seriously. So similarly, Krishna himself is saying that Mama Maya Duratyaya, my Maya Shakti is very difficult to overcome. So therefore, we have to take this word very seriously. So if we see in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks about how little engagement in devotional service can save a person from the greatest type of fear. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even a little devotional service can save a person from the greatest danger. In the same way, the same Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, Krishna says that little involvement in the material energy can also put a person in the greatest type of danger. Yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitah. What is that shloka? 2 point... Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 2.67. Indriyanam hi charatam yanmano anuvidiyate tadasya harati pragyam vayurnavam ivambasi. As a boat on the water is swept away by the strong wind, even if one of the senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a person's intelligence. So, slight engagement devotional service can save a person from the greatest type of fear. And little advancement in the material energy can put a person in the greatest type of danger. Both are possible. So next shloka. Sandhiyamana etasmin
सन्धीयमान एतस्मिन्
maya guhyaka nirmitaah
माया गुह्यक निर्मितः
क्षिप्रम विनेशुर vidura
क्षिप्रं विनेशुर विदुर
क्लेशा ज्ञानोदये यता.
क्लेशाज्ञानो न येयता. As soon as Dhruva Maharaj joined the Narayana arrow to his bow, the illusion created by the Yakshas was immediately vanquished, just as all material pains and pleasures are vanquished when one becomes fully cognizant of the self.
So we see here, as soon as he just, even before releasing the Narayanastra bow, as soon as he just joined the Narayanastra arrow, Sandhiyamana etasmin. Sandhiyamana means he just joined to his, while joining to his bow. Maya Guhyaka Nirmita. When he employed the Narayana weapon, the illusion created by the Yakshas suddenly disappeared. Immediately disappeared. Just like suffering disappears with the dawn of knowledge. Kshipram Vineshur Vidura Klesha Jnanodaye Yata. So, this famous shloka. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoya Andhakara. So Krishna consciousness and Maya both are always there side by side. As soon as there is awakening of Krishna consciousness, all the illusory pain and pleasures are vanquished. So therefore, constant chanting of the Mahamantra will keep us always aloof from the illusory energy of Maya. So as soon as a person simply regains the faith in the holy name, as long as a person has faith in the process of bhakti, that itself is a victory against Maya. So, Prabhupada quotes that Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoya Andhakara. Next shloka. Tasyar Shastram Danushi Prayunjata.
तस्याशास्त्रं धनुषि प्रयुञ्जतः
Suvarna Punka Kalaham Savasasah.
सुवर्णपुङ्काः कलहंसवाससः
Vinisrita Avivishur Dvishadbalam.
विनिसृता विषद्भलम्
यथावणं भीमरवा शिखण्डिनः.
यतावनं भीमरवाः शिखण्डिनः. Even as Dhruva Maharaja fixed the weapon made by Narayana Rishi onto his bow, arrows with golden shafts and feathers like the wings of a swan flew out from it. They entered the enemy soldiers with a great hissing sound, just as peacocks enter a forest with tumultuous crowing.
So, when Dhruva Maharaj released the weapon, let's explain. Tasya Arsha Astram. Arsha, it comes from the root word Rishi. Arshastram refers to the weapon given by Narayana Rishi. Tasya Arshastram Danushi Prayunjatah. As soon as Dhruva fixed the weapon on his bow, Danushi Prayunjatah, Suvarna Punka, Suvarna gold, Suvarna Punka, golden arrows, Kalahamsa, golden arrows with the feathers from the swans. Suvarna Punka, Kalahamsa Vasasa, with the feathers from the swans. Vinisrita Avivishur Dvishadbalam. They were fired upon the Dvishad, upon the enemy. They were fired upon the enemy like the Yata, last line contains the analogy. Yata Vanam Bhimarava Shikandinaha. Like the Bhimarava. Bhimarava means frightening sound. Shikandina refers to peacocks. Like the frightening sound of the peacocks in the forest. Similarly, when the Dhruva Maharaj released the arrow, it made such kind of sound. When it was released, they released the arrows upon the enemies. So next shloka, uh, recite. Taistigmadarai pradane shili mukair itastata punyajana upadrita tam abhyadavan kupita udayuda suparna munnadda pana ivahaya. So tam taistigmadarai. Tigmadarai means by the sharp arrows. By the sharp arrows. Oppressed by the arrows with the sharp points. Pradane shili mukai. Present everywhere on the battlefield. Pradane is in the battlefield. The yakshas itastataha punyajana upadrita. The yakshas ran here and there. Itastata. Punyajana refers to the yakshas. One of the name of yakshas in the Amarakosha is Punyajana. So yakshas kupita with great anger. Tam abhyadavan. Tam abhyadavan means they angrily ran towards Dhruva. Udayuda with raised weapons. And then again an analogy is given in the last line. Suparna munnadda pana ivahaya. Whenever the word iva actually indicates an analogy or a utpreksha alankara. Like snakes raised with the hoods attacking Garuda. Suparna is the Garuda. Suparna munnadda pana ivahaya. Just like the snakes with raised hoods attacked Garuda, similarly the yakshas angrily rushed at Dhruva with raised weapons. So Prabhupada writes here that there is no purport. Satan prishatkai abhidhavato mride nikritta bahu rushirodarodaran ninaya lokam paramarka mandalam vrajanti nirbhidya yamurdva retasaha. So Satan prishatkair abhidhavato mride. So attacked by the yakshas. Dhruva, what did he do? Nikritta bahu uru shira darodaran. Dhruva cut off the, Nikritta means cut off. Cut off their bahu, their arms. Uru, their thighs. Shira, their necks. And udaran, their torsos. He cut off all these things. Prushatkaihi, with his arrows. And sent them to the planet Ninaya Lokam Paramarka Mandalam. He sent them to the planet where the brahmacharis go after attaining the sun. Urdhva Retasa. This word refers to those who practice the brahmachari vrata. So, Urdhva Retasaha Yam Urdhva Retasaha Vrajanti. Where the brahmacharis go after attaining the sun, Arka Mandalam. So the same place, these yakshas who were killed by Dhruva Maharaj, they attained the same place. So Vishwanath Chakravartipad says that these yakshas who were killed by Dhruva Maharaj, they went to Satyaloka, where the sannyasis or the brahmacharis go after surpassing the sun planet. So we see here these yakshas, because they were killed by a pure devotee Dhruva Maharaj, because of that they got a special elevation. They reached the Satyaloka planet. Of course, in the Gita says that even from Satyaloka, after the pious credits are over, they return. Abrahma Bhavana Loka Punar Avartinorjuna. So one should not think that they attained liberation, the sannyasis at the end of Brahma's life, but they attained Satyaloka. So Prabhupada says that to be killed either directly by the Lord or by his devotees, both are actually auspicious for the non-devotees. Krishna's one of the 64 qualities is that Hatari Gati Dayaka. That means like whoever is killed by Krishna, they attain liberation. In the Bhagavatam, third canto, it is explained that Tataiva Chanye Naraloka Veera Ya Ahave Krishna Mukaravindam Netrai Pibanto Nayanabhiramam Parthastra Puta Padamapurasya. Parthastra Puta Padamapurasya. When Uddhava is remembering, Uddhava says that in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when Arjuna was fighting, by the arrows released by Arjuna, the people who were shot by the arrows released by Arjuna, they became purified. Parthastra Puta. They became purified, and then when they were about to die, Netrai Pibanto Nayanabhiramam. They drank with their eyes, Pibanta. They drank with their eyes the beauty of Lord Krishna. And in that stage, when they left their body, Netrai Pibanto Nayanabhiramam Parthastra Puta Padam Apurasya, they attained Vaikuntha. They attained Vaikuntha. So therefore, that Prabhupada says in that purport, because Arjuna was fighting on behalf of Krishna. So therefore, even the people who were killed by the Arjuna's arrows, they attained the same state as if Krishna would have personally killed them. They also attained Vaikuntha, they also attained liberation. So therefore, Prabhupada says that these yakshas, they attained auspicious destination. The yakshas were killed indiscriminately by Dhruva Maharaj, but they attained the planetary system attainable only for the brahmacharis who never discharged their semen. So those people who practice the brahmacharya vrata, the planet which they attain, the same planet, Satyaloka, was attained by these yakshas. So to reach the Satyaloka planet, one has to be elevated above the sun globe. Satyaloka is above sun globe. So killing therefore is not always bad. If the killing is done by the Supreme Lord or by his devotees or in great sacrifices, it is for the benefit of the entity killed in that way. So material so-called non-violence is very insignificant in comparison to the killing done by the Supreme Personality of God or his devotees. So just like when a state kills a murderer by giving punishment, that is actually good for that murderer. Because by that, that sinner will be purified of his sinful reaction. Therefore, killing is not always bad. Only in the current time we see that many of these communists and leftists, they talk when some terrorist is given death punishment, when Afzal Guru was given death punishment, or Yaqub Memon was given death punishment. So many of the communists, they created a hue and cry. The punishment should not be given like that. But the killing is not bad. In fact, by giving immediately death punishment, but person becomes purified of the sins. He will not have to suffer more. So Prabhupada further says that Urdhva Retasa, this word is there in the shloka. He says that celibacy is important, that even though one does not undergo any austerities, penances or ritualistic ceremonies prescribed in the Vedas, but if one simply practices celibacy, the result is that one goes to Satyaloka. So therefore he says that in the Vedic culture, out of the 4 ashramas, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa ashram, out of the 4 ashrama, only in the Grahastha ashrama, it is only in the Grahastha ashram it is allowed to have a union with the opposite gender, and that too with the restrictions. So people of this age do not know the value of practicing celibacy. As such, they are variously entangled with material qualities and suffer an existence of struggle only. So, and also Urdhva Retasa indicates the Mayavadi sannyasis who undergo strict principles of austerity. And then Prabhupada also says that, but even if a person goes to Brahmaloka, Abrahma Bhavana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna, one can still again come back to this world. So therefore, the actual liberation, complete liberation can be attained only by devotional service, from where one does not come back. So Harim Vina Namritim Taranti. Without Krishna's mercy, no one can have liberation. Next shloka, somebody can repeat after me. With this will end. Tan Hanyamanan Abhivikshya Guhyakan
तान् हन्यमानान् अभिवीक्ष्य गुह्यकान्
Anagasaschitrarathena Bhurishah
अनागसश्चित्ररथेन भूरिशः
Authanapadim Kripaya Pitamaho
औत्थानपादिं कृपया पितामहो
Manur Jagadopagatas Saharshibhi.
मनुर्जगादोपगतः सहर्षिभिः. Translation. When Swayambhu Manu saw that his grandson Dhruva Maharaj was killing so many of the yakshas, who were not actually offenders, out of his great compassion he approached Dhruva with great sages to give him good instruction.
So now this Svayambhuva Manu's instruction to Dhruva Maharaj, that part actually starts. So Tan Hanyamanan Abhivikshya Guhyakan. Abhivikshya means seeing. Seeing what? Tan Hanyamanan. Anagasa. Anagasa means innocent. So actually only one Yaksha had killed Dhruva Maharaj's brother Uttam. But when Dhruva Maharaj started the fight, so many Yakshas started fighting with Dhruva. Now many Yakshas started getting killed. And they were innocent. They were not part of the... They did not take part in the killing of Dhruva Maharaj's brother. So therefore, Anagasa word is used. So Anagasaha Hanyamanan Guhyakan Abhivikshya. Seeing that many innocent Yakshas, Guhyaka refers to Yaksha, Hanyamanan, were being killed by Dhruva. Bhurishaha means many Yakshas. So Pitamaha, who is Dhruva Maharaj's Pitamaha, that is Svayambhuva Manu. Svayambhuva Manu, Saha Rishibihi, he did not come alone, he came along with the sages. Along with the sages, Auttanapadim Kripaya Jagada Upagataha. He approached, Auttanapada here refers to son of Uttanapada, that is Dhruva Maharaj. He approached Dhruva, Upagata, And Kripaya Jagada, he spoke out of compassion. He spoke out of compassion. We see that Dhruva Maharaj attacked Alakapuri, the city of the Yakshas, because one of his brother was killed. But Dhruva Maharaj took a very serious step when his brother was killed by the Yakshas. The fight was going on. So sometimes what happens, for one man's fault, a whole state is sometimes attacked. And that is what was happening. There is nothing wrong in Dhruva Maharaj giving punishment to that Yaksha who killed his brother. But the whole Rajoguna is such that one can get carried away by the Rajoguna, and so many Yakshas started getting killed. So this kind of wholesale attack is not approved by Manu. Excessive anger is being exhibited. Excessive violence is being committed. That is not approved by Manu. So he therefore wanted to stop his grandson Dhruva from continuing to kill the Yaksha, who are not offenders. So now Manu will start giving his instruction, very beautiful instruction. We will begin with one shloka. Manuruvacha Alam Vatsati
Alam Vatsati
Alam Vatsati Roshena
Alam Vatsati Roshena
Tamodvarena Papmana
Tamodvarena Papmana
Yena Punyajananetan
Yena Punyajanatetan
Avadit Avadit Swama Avadit Avadistvamanagasah
Avaditsvamanagata Gasaha. Lord Manu said, "My dear son, please stop. It is not good to become unnecessarily angry. It is a path to hellish life. Now you are going beyond the limit by killing yakshas who are actually not offenders."
So you see, alam means sufficient. Just stop it. It is sufficient. Alam vatsa. He is addressing Dhruva with affection. Vatsa, dear child. Alam. Enough with your atiroshena. Enough with your excessive anger. And this anger is tamodvarena papmana. This excessive anger is the sinful path to ignorance. Trividam narakasyedam dvaram nasham atmanah kamakrodas tatalobas tasmat etat trayam tejet. Gita 16th chapter. Kama, Krodha and Lobha, they are the three gates to hell. Same thing. Tamodvarena papana. And then he says that Yena, it means by this anger, you have killed many innocent yakshas. Again the word anagasa. Yetan anagasa punyajanan avadihi. You have killed many innocent yakshas. So we see the first point is saying that enough with your excessive anger, you are showing excessive anger. Or atiroshena means unnecessary anger. So Dhruva Maharaj is going beyond the limits of necessary anger. Therefore, Svayambhuva Manu came to protect Dhruva Maharaj from further sinful action. So Prabhupada says that killing is not bad. But when killing is done unnecessarily, or when an offenseless person is killed, then such a violence will actually lead a person to hell. Killing is done unnecessarily, or when an offenseless person is killed, it will lead to hell. So Dhruva Maharaj was saved from such a sinful reaction by Svayambhuva Manu. So a Kshatriya is allowed to kill for the maintenance of law and order. But he is not allowed to kill or commit violence without reason. So here Swayambhuva Manu prohibited Dhruva Maharaj from killing the Yakshas because only one of them was punishable for the killing his brother. So Prabhupada also says that in the modern warfare, the many times the innocent people are attacked without their fault. In Russia, Ukraine war, or many other wars. So such warfare is the most sinful activity, and also not only that, many innocent animals are being killed in the slaughterhouses. That is also like unnecessary violence, excessive violence. So, so therefore, Prabhupada says that when a nation is attacked by its enemies, the wholesale slaughter of the citizens should be taken as a reaction to their own sinful activities. So sometimes innocent citizens are being killed in a war. And when we deeply study, in the same country, many innocent animals are killed in big numbers in the organized slaughterhouses. And the reaction to that people are getting by getting killed in a war by the opposite enemies. Innocent citizens are getting killed because they are taking part in the killing of the innocent animals in the slaughterhouses. So we will further go through it from the next shloka next week. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Kaman.
Hare Krishna.
Just this one question came in my mind. These yakshas, they also don't follow the moral codes of fighting, no? Because the Dhruva Maharaj was alone and all of them attacked Dhruva Maharaj. So I was just thinking that all the moral codes questions was asked in the form of yaksha by Yamraj. But here the Yamraj took the form of yaksha and asked the principles. Here I just got a question that the moral codes of fighting was not perfectly done.
That Yaksha Prashna you are asking.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Here the Yakshas, they do not follow the moral codes. But in the form of Yaksha, the questions were asked to Yudhishthira Maharaj. But Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, because we saw the word Punya Jana. He says that Yakshas were not very bad people, they were also pious people, because they are also called as Punya Jana.
Mm-hmm.
They were Kuveras associates, but they were also mentioned as Punya Jana, they are pious people. It's a mistake. Yaksha killed Dhruva Maharaj's brother, and maybe many Yakshas simultaneously attacked Dhruva. That mistake is there, but nevertheless, they were also pious people.
Yeah, yes. And maybe just for the protection of one's own life, they have fought. But they saw that Dhruva Maharaj was so much proficient in fighting that alone one Yaksha would not defeat. Maybe that.
Many Yakshas started getting killed. So many people who are not party to that original mistake. So that is where this whole section, we find many sections in the Bhagavatam, but this section, how anger is such that anger is many times have to be used as a tool, but oftentimes the anger goes out of control. And then somebody from outside has to come and control us from further degradation. So Swayambhuva Manu is coming to pacify Dhruva Maharaj, to control his anger, to stop, make him stop fighting.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for that.
Okay. So we'll stop here. No more questions. Next week we'll meet. Thank you very much. Grantara Srimad
धन्यवाद
Bhagavatam.
प्रभुजी.
हाँ, धन्यवाद माता जी.